Good morning. It is Tuesday and time for our Tuesday Top 10. My name is David Snipes from 7poundbag.com. And on Tuesdays, we're going to start going through our wrestling countdown. Steve Hall does a Monday wrestling countdown called the Pounding Sevens that you can get every week out of the website. We also have a wrestling roundtable on Fridays. So on Tuesdays, I'm going to kind of bring you these videos. We're going to count down top 10 items because if there's nothing YouTube likes as much as cat videos, it's top 10 lists. This week, I'm going to go over top 10 gimmicks that should not have got over, but for some reason did. What I want to do is I want to give you a pitch for a wrestler. And I want you to figure out how this wrestler actually became to draw a dime in the wrestling business. Because we do have gimmicks that you know are not going to get over. You know, the Spirit Squad. That's not going to work. It's not going to happen. You know, you have all these other gimmicks that have come out in the wrestling business, like, you know, the Brooklyn Brawler, Duke the Dumpster Drosy. It's just not going to happen. It may do something in the independents, but in the big leagues of the WWF or NWA at the time, it's just, like I said, not going to do anything. But occasionally you do get a wrestler that has something thrown against the wall. They're able to make it stick, and it actually does get over. But again, if you have future ideas for future countdowns you'd like for Steve or I to do, by all means, throw it in the comments below. You can follow me on Twitter, of course, which will also be at the bottom here eventually. Hit by the website. Throw us a comment there. We have a lot of stuff up there with movies and NFL and NBA and all the other stuff like that. By all means, like and subscribe. Let me know what you think. And again, I'll take any and all ideas. If it's something I can't do here, of course, Steve will love to take ideas here. He's more of a fan through the current product. Basically, if it happened within the last 5 years, I'm kind of out, to be quite honest with you. So somebody that would fit this countdown, you probably could look at like Bray Wyatt or Stardust. Sorry, you kind of got me there. Bang. Sorry, I don't follow the current product. But you want to talk about old school wrestling, pretty much from say 78 to 2012, I'm your guy here. But let's get into the countdown. Again, these are top 10 wrestlers that should not have got over, but for some reason did and can draw a dime. Number 10. Okay, here's what we got. We're going edgy, and we've got DX running around yelling "suck it" all the time. Everybody's doing a crotch shop, so let's find a porn star. Let's get an actual porn star. No, not a female porn star, because we've got women in Playboy. We've basically got all kinds of skanks and hoe. We've got, in a few years we'll even do lesbians. That'll be fun. But no, let's get an actual male porn star, because nothing says wrestling like male porn. Because having big, huge, bulked up, sweaty guys in their underwear rolling around with each other, that's not gay enough. We need to have an actual porn star. Yeah, that's Val Venis. Dang. Okay, yeah. How does that draw a dime again? And actually, we bring in Jenna Jameson to actually give him a little cred. We put him in with an actual shoot fighter and make him like date his sister, even though Shamrock's dating his sister off screen. But yeah, Val Venis. How on earth do you actually put this on network television at this time and actually think it's going to get over? But for some reason, it did. We go through the whole Kaientai thing with the choppy pee pee, which is a lot of fun. But yeah, how does Val Venis get off the drawing board and actually make money? But again, I think he was an above average worker. I think he was an above average promo. He really did well with the gimmick. I did love his whole towel little roll thing. For some reason, just one of those things I just kind of like. Same reason that, Mr. Perfect did the towel toss. Just, things like that just was always kind of add a little extra to the gimmick. But yeah, bless his heart, Val Venis got over. Congratulations to him. Didn't quite get the run that he probably should have. The right to censor kind of killed it after a bit. But again, like I said, Val Venis, our number 10 here. Number 9, everybody loves clowns, right? I mean, we got Bozo the Clown that everybody grew up with. Let's make him evil, though. Let's make him, attack people from behind. Let's make him spit at the referees. Let's make him throw stuff at the audience. That'll draw money, right? Everybody will love that. And plus, you got people that are afraid of clowns. Nah, that's Doink. Okay, so I love Evil Doink. Evil Doink is awesome. He's so much fun. He's got that glee in his eye. He's, like I said, he's biting people. It's just a lot of fun, but then we turn him face, and then he's just another goofy cartoon character, pretty much literally. He's breaking out whoopee cushions. He's throwing confetti in the crowd like he's Rip Torn. It's just not nearly as much fun as it was. But Then we give him a midget sidekick. We put him in a feud with Jerry Lawler. But yet it actually makes money. You still see Doink t-shirts in the crowd. I do think you could probably do better with him in a 5 or 6 years earlier than that. He probably would have had an ice cream bar. But yeah, Doink the Clown, number 9. Like I said, I don't really see how that really works. Okay, number 8. All right, this is ECW, and let's make this guy a model. Yeah, he's out because he's handsome. Let's put him in suspenders. Those of you that followed early ECW know instantly who I'm talking about here. But let's put him in suspenders. Let's make him dance. Let's make him talk about how handsome he is, and let's kick the shit out of him every week. Let's just turn him into everybody's bitch. But his gimmick is he can really take an ass whipping. And that's it. We just beat the shit out of him week in and week out. Yeah, but somehow Heyman actually gets this over. This actually works. We beat the shit out of him week in, week out, and eventually he stops being able to just take an ass whipping. He starts being able to give one out. Yeah, this is Tommy Dreamer. This is the innovator of violence. Those of you that came into ECW a little later on, this is how he started out. You know, dancing guy, happy guy, smiley guy, like I said, green suspenders guy. And all of a sudden he turns into this ass whipping machine. And to be quite honest with you, my favorite guy to ever go in ECW, as much as I love Lance, much as I love Lance Storm, I love Tommy Dreamer. Tommy Dreamer is one of my all-time favorites. But yeah, that was his gimmick. Hey, I can take an ass whipping. Number 7. Okay, 2 years ago we had this Hall of Fame caliber wrestler who really didn't do shit here because he was kind of blown. His skills weren't gone. His mic skills was kind of repetitive. But, like 8 years ago, he was on top of the world. He was a WCW champion. But everybody could do an imitation of. Everybody knows this guy. Everybody has his mannerisms down, his movesets down. We know exactly what he is because he's just over the top intense. So let's take this guy that's got a really good moveset, really can get over, has a lot of charisma, just doesn't have a lot of personality to get anything with him. But the thing about it is he's a black guy. That don't mean anything. Let's make him Black Machismo. Yeah, we'll give Jay Lethal Randy Savage's gimmick and basically just have him copy it. Awesome. And yet it works. I just don't understand that. But yeah, it works. 2 years after Randy Savage leaves the company, Jay Lethal does more with it than Randy Savage ever thought about doing in TNA. Sadly, the gimmick kind of fell apart whenever they tried to start making SoCal Val in the Elizabeth role with Sanjay Dutt trying to be Hulk Hogan, but not doing the Hulk Hogan thing, just being Sanjay Dutt, kind of playing him. And that just didn't work. After they tried to recreate way too much with the Elizabeth thing, that just didn't work. They should have left Jay Lethal the way he was. But again, Jay Lethal was a great worker, so it didn't really hurt him long term. But yeah, I mean, who would have thought that this would have actually worked here? Okay, number 6. Let's take a headliner and let's bring in his brother, because family always works in wrestling. You got Bret Hart, you got Owen Hart, you got the Bulldogs, who were kind of thought of as brothers. You got Jimmy Garvin, Ronnie Garvin. Let's just do that, and let's bring the brother in on a revenge angle. He'll beat the shit out of his brother, and yeah, that's pretty much going to be his gimmick. He's just being brought in just to beat on his brother for a bit. But of course, the brother's one of the most over guys in company history, so obviously he's going to win the feud whenever they actually do fight. But we're stringing it out to WrestleMania because we'll say like the older brother doesn't want to beat up the younger brother, and and then he'll beat him, and then we'll see what else we can do with it. And then 20 years later he's still headlining. Yeah, I'm talking about Kane. Pretty much the exact same thing as the Undertaker's gimmick, except he's able to make flames and he's red instead of black or instead of purple. Thankfully Undertaker kind of goes off to do the Underbiker. Kane's still doing his own thing, but how on earth did this thing get over? And how on earth did it last 20 years? Clint Jacobs is an awesome wrestler. He does live the gimmick. He was in that sneaky mask for freaking century, it seemed like. Even when he lost his mask, which usually kills a lot of masked wrestlers, he still keeps on coming. But yeah, he's a Hall of Famer on his own right, but you got to think that Nobody on this planet ever thought that he would make it 5 years, much less 10 and 20. I mean, that's a 16 seed beating Virginia first game of the tournament. That ain't happening. But still, it worked, and bless his heart. Congratulations, Kane. Number 5. Uh, oh my gosh, we've got a packed cruiserweight division over in WCW. We don't really care about that in the WWF, even though WCW kept saying it's where the big boys play. But I just love this gimmick, though. But let's make a cruiserweight not know he's a cruiserweight. Let's make him think he's a superhero. And yeah, we're going Hurricane here. Oh man, he tries to choke slam everybody, but can't choke slam anybody. He's going to fly around the ring in a cape. We're even going to give him a goofy alter ego where he tries to be a backstage interviewer. We're even going to let him go toe-to-toe with The Rock, trying to do interview segments, and he holds his own. And then we kind of overblow it because we don't do anything in the cruiserweight division. We should have made him a cruiserweight monster, kind of like Dean Malenko was in WCW. But we don't. We just make the laughing part where he just tries to chokeslam big guys, and big guys get beat the snot out of him. I would think it would have been amazing had we actually had the Hurricane chokeslam Big Show for once. But instead, they just kind of blew the booking. They gave him a sidekick, Mighty Molly. That just didn't work. And had the WWF at the time actually pushed a cruiserweight division, I think it could have been a decade-long one. But you still see you still hear of the pop whenever you get somebody like it. You still see signs on occasion. The masks is still awesome whenever he comes out. I love the Hurricane. I think it was awesome. Okay, number 4. You're going to love this, guys. You're going to love this, guys. We're going to take a madman. We're going to make him crazy. He can take an ass whipping. He can belt it out. He can go toe-to-toe with the Undertaker. You throw him through tables. You hit him with chairs. You do whatever you want. You just can't stop this guy. And then as a finisher, he's no longer going to use the deadly finisher. He's going to use a sock. Yeah, he's a bloodthirsty madman who puts his sock in your mouth. Okay, that'll work. And yet it does. You still see Mr. Socko signs. Again, it's Mick Foley, who you have to think could pretty much get anything over. But yeah, he gets over the wearing of a sock on his hand. And again, he's able to go toe-to-toe with The Rock. He's able to go toe-to-toe with Austin, toe-to-toe with Vince. Vince really puts it over in the hospital scene where he rolls over and goes, Mr. Socko. But it's just an amazing gimmick, and it sells. I mean, you would think you would have footwear still running around today from Mr. Socko. But again, it works. There's no reason for it to get over. But, hey, it's Mick Foley. I mean, you have to think, what couldn't this dude get over except, of course, himself in WCW. Okay, here we go. Number 3, we're going to take the grandson of a plumber. Most of you already know who this guy is. He's the son of one of the greatest minds in wrestling. Probably one of the best second-generation wrestlers ever. He was successful in the other company, but again, we don't want to just bring over this dude and just have him just wear boots and wander around. So let's do this. Let's make him talk in movie catchphrases. He's going to just quote old movies, not even like new movies. We're going to use like old movies. We'll bring his wife in as a director. She's just going to sit there and just fellatiate on a cigar. But the wrestler's actually going to be, gay. So he's going to be a gay movie buff who spouts catchphrases with a smoking hot director who just sits there and puffs on a cigar but doesn't get involved. And yeah, we'll do that. And like I said, we'll see how far that goes. Yeah, how Goldust draw time, that's just amazing. How they convince Goldust to do it is, I'm guessing, a lot of the self-hating stuff. But yeah, it gets over, and here it is 20 plus years later, and he's still amazing. Again, he's an excellent worker. He probably should have stuck in WCW. Would have been amazing. I think he'd have been pretty good as like a secondary heel right after the Horseman, to be quite honest with you. But in their infinite wisdom, they fire him for blading on a pay-per-view. But yeah, Goldust. I mean, who would have thought this thing would have worked and worked so well? But just again, just an amazing gimmick that you would have never thought would have drawn a dime. I don't think he sold much merch, but Lord knows he was around for a while. Number two, okay, we're still in cartoony WWF. Everybody's still got a gimmick. We got Earthquake, we got Typhoon, we got Tatanka. So let's make a zombie. Excellent. We'll give him a manager that is a funeral director, and you can't hurt him, you can't stop him. You kind of got to cheat to beat him, but we're going to make him a heel, so the faces are kind of screwed. But you can stun him for a bit, but you kind of got to capitalize on it quick because he's just going to sit up and keep coming after you. And yeah, we're talking about the greatest gimmick in wrestling history. I think so. Most people that have watched wrestling for years think so. This is the Undertaker. If you look at it on paper, how does this thing get over? But it's pushed the right way. He goes right in the main event scene, and his gimmick really doesn't change for a good 15 years. They bury him, they set him on fire, they get rid of him for a couple of months at a time. He comes back and he's still popular, he's still amazing. Even today, people are still buying his gimmicks, or people buying his T-shirts. They're still going nuts whenever they hear the bong. His entrances take longer than his matches now because he's older than me. But it's amazing that this thing got over for so long. But yeah, again, like I said, greatest gimmick in wrestling history. But if you look at it on paper, yeah, a zombie that you can't hurt, but he's a heel, and he walks around with an urn where he gets his power from. How does that work? Okay, but yeah, it does. I think part of the reason why the Undertaker's so popular is that they never really had to throw the belt on him for any long periods of time. He was always off doing upper mid card feuds. Let's put him with Bundy. Let's put him with Kamala. Make him run through any other top face could have been destroyed by some of the crappy feuds he got in with. Could you imagine the Giant Gonzalez having a 3-month feud with Shawn Michaels? No. So, yeah, I mean, like I said, I think part of the reason why he's been successful for so long is that he's never needed a title to get over. He's Vince Russo's favorite wrestler, I'm sure, just because no matter what you stick him with, he's Teflon. You put him in crappy gimmicks, you put him in goofy gimmick matches, you make him lose pretty much every monster match you put him in that involves a title, and he comes through no problem. And it's not until later on where he's got to be in a title scene or right next to a title scene where it really kind of starts to be a drag on the character. But again, it's hard to really deny that he is, again, the greatest gimmick in wrestling history. And number one on the countdown. Okay, here's our concept here. This is really going to draw money. It's 1984. It's a New York-based promotion. He's not that great a worker, but he's been around forever in the South. So let's do this. Let's use an Elvis impersonator. Excellent. That'll work. That's gangbusters. So we'll take an Elvis impersonator that's not really an Elvis impersonator. He actually thinks he's Elvis. In 1984, New York City. And let's have him take our number 2 title and basically use Memphis Heat. He's going to be the classic chicken shit heel. He's never really going to beat anybody. He's going to run from everybody. He's going to cheat as much as he can. Let's not let him win against anybody any good whatsoever at all. Let's bury him on TV constantly. Let's make him run away. Let's make him goofy. Again, he doesn't know that he's not Elvis. And let's let him do that for a year. And yeah, that's why he's number one on the countdown, because this works. Honky Tonk Man is still popular in certain segments. He still has a bit of a rationale. Undertaker as a zombie, yeah, I could kind of see where that could be your number one guy. But zombies can work. Kane, for a certain extent, is also zombie. All that good stuff. But an Elvis impersonator in the middle 80s tell me the last time he actually pinned somebody clean 1, 2, 3 on pay-per-view. I'd like to find it, or even on Wrestling Challenge or any major thing. anybody that was over any consequence. You look at his major feuds, he pretty much got his butt handed to him in all of them. Survivor Series, when it's 3-on-1, he doesn't even give a chance to even do anything with it. He had feuds with JYD, obviously lost that. Ricky Steamboat, about the only one he beat, and Lord knows it wasn't clean. Bret Hart, Rick Rude, Jake Roberts, Don Morocco. I mean, shoot, I don't even think he beat Tito Santana clean. But yeah, on the house show circuit, he did the same exact thing, but yet he drew monster money. But yeah, I've got him down as my number one gimmick that should not have gotten older by any stretch of the imagination. But there are even reports that in certain segments of the country, he outdrew Hulk Hogan. Whenever Hunk would be on the B show and Hogan would run the A show, he actually drew better money in certain parts of the country. And I'm not just talking about in Memphis, where he was a good bit popular. But that's our countdown. If I've missed anybody, by all means, let me know. Fuss me at me below. Please like and subscribe. I just hit my 5th subscriber, which is monster for me, and I appreciate it. But y'all have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time. Thanks.